How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Noah back again with another NFL video. And today we got the NFL Week 3 preview video, and in the background I got what I chose to be the best game of the week, Seattle Seahawks at the Titans. So, yeah, we'll just have that going in the background. Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the games this week. First game, Thursday Night Football, aka Snorefest. This Los Angeles Rams visiting the San Francisco 49ers, and yes, I almost called them the St. Louis Rams again, but I didn't. But anyway, this game, I mean, it's Thursday Night Football. All these games on Thursday Night Football are always really boring. No one cares about it. But I do think if the Rams have been a little pretty good so far, and if they want to prove that they're actually for real, they gotta beat a team like this. I mean, San Francisco, I respect their defense, but they just got no offense. I mean, they got 31-year-old Brian Hoyer at quarterback. Honestly, at this point, they might as well try starting the rookie C.J. Beathard, see what he has, because we all know what Brian Hoyer is. He's a backup, and not a very good one at that. So, I've liked what I've seen from Jared Goff so far this year, and with guys like Todd Gurley's a good running back, and they got Tavon Austin, Sammy Watkins in the receiving game. I'm going to go for the Los Angeles Rams to win this game. Final score, Los Angeles 28, San Francisco 17. Next game, the Sunday games. First game is the Baltimore Ravens on the road to take on the Jaguars. Jaguars getting absolutely pummeled by the Tennessee Titans last week. So maybe that defense isn't as good as we thought it was after they destroyed the Houston Texans and their struggling offense. And I mean, Baltimore's just been so dominant this year. I think they've only allowed 10 points through 2 weeks defensively. So that's really good. Joe Flacco is having a good season so far, and they got guys like Terrence West and Javorius Allen in the running game. Jeremy Maclin and Mike Wallace on the outside, both two nice, solid, speedy receivers. So I'm going to look for the Baltimore Ravens to start the year off 3-0 and continue their hot start. We're going to go final score Baltimore 31, Jacksonville 21. Next game, Houston Texans at the New England Patriots. Deshaun Watson looked alright last week in his debut against the Bengals, but I mean, this is on the road in Foxborough, and the Patriots looked absolutely dominant last week. Tom Brady throwing for almost 450 yards. So while I like Deshaun Watson a lot, and the Texans have a very respectable defense as they showed last week against Cincinnati, I think they're going to struggle on the road in Foxborough, and I'm going to go final score New England Patriots 34, Houston Texans 17. Next game, New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you asked me who won this game before the season started, I would pick the Giants, since I picked them to win the division, but unfortunately, they've got off to an absolutely garbage start. Their offensive line is absolutely terrible. Eric Flowers just cannot block to save his life. Eli Manning is running for his life back there, getting pummeled. They got no running game. Brandon Marshall has been a complete bust free agent signing so far, which I thought he would do really well. Hasn't been the case so far, and on the other side of the ball, Carson Wentz has just been absolutely fantastic so far this year, looking really good. 2 straight 300-plus yard games. I think he has 4 or 5 touchdown passes so far, so he's doing really good in his second year. No sophomore slump for him. Improvement, actually, and, you know, I just really don't know if the Giants have it anymore. I picked them to win the division, but I'll be the first to admit I might have gotten that one wrong, and I am going to pick that Eagles defensive line to penetrate that the Giants' struggling offensive line and get to Eli Manning, force pressure, force turnovers. I'm going to go final score Philadelphia 31, Giants 24. Next game, the 2 winless teams going at it. The Cleveland Browns visiting the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis is not going to have Andrew Luck for at least another month probably, so they're still starting Jacoby Brissett, I believe. And Brissett had a respectable game last week against the Cardinals, but this is just a weird game because both teams are so bad to start off. But honestly, I do not see the Colts winning this game. I think, and I'm not going to pick the Browns very often, but I do think I'll pick them this game because their defense has been pretty good so far. They played well against Pittsburgh, and even though they lost to Baltimore, the defense was pretty good that game. And Colts have no defense. I think DeShone Kizer will be able to bounce back from his 3-interception performance last week, and I think he'll be able to lead the Cleveland Browns to their first win of the season, and DeShone Kizer will get his first career win as a starter. I'm going to go final score Cleveland 24, Indianapolis 20. Next game, Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. I mean, what do you expect? New York Jets, even though they're at home, they're just straight garbage. Still got Josh McCown, and he had a decent game last week, but I don't think I'm ever going to pick the Jets ever, no matter who they're playing, unless they're playing like the Colts or like maybe the Browns. I'm probably always going to pick against them. I'm going to pick against them this game. They got no defense, absolutely no offense, and Dolphins had a decent game last week. I think Jay Cutler will have a good game. Jay Ajayi is always a bet to go for over 100 yards. Very talented running back. I think he's in his second or third year. So I'm going to go Miami 27, New York 10. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Minnesota Vikings. I really liked what I saw from Sam Bradford in Week 1. And their defense is really good, but now that Sam Bradford is hurt, he's going to be out probably 6 to 8 weeks. They're going to be starting the veteran backup Case Keenum in this game, and I'm sorry, I know the Vikings have an amazing defense, but so did the Buccaneers, and if the Vikings are starting Case Keenum in this game, I don't care if they're at home, they got no shot against Jameis Winston, and guys like Vincent Jackson, Mike Evans, Jaquiz Rodgers had a nice game rushing the ball last week. So if Sam Bradford was still playing, I would probably pick the Vikings, but since Case Keenum is playing, I'm going to go for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game by a final score, Tampa Bay 28, Minnesota 14. Next game, Denver Broncos visiting the Buffalo Bills. Denver just has such a dominant defense. I mean, best pass rush in the NFL, one of the probably the best secondary in the NFL as well. So let's just say it. They got the best defense in the NFL, period. And Trevor Siemian has been great so far. I believe C.J. Anderson is second so far in the rushing leaders in the NFL, behind only Kareem Hunt of the Chiefs. So I have full faith in the Denver Broncos to go into Buffalo and win a game against the Buffalo Bills, who struggled on offense majorly last week, only scoring 9 points. I do respect the Bills' defense, so I think they will keep it close with the offense, but I mean, Broncos' defense is just so dominant. They're going to shut Buffalo down. I'm going to go final score, Denver 24, Buffalo 14. Next game, New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. The Saints once again showed last week that their defense is really struggling. And on the other side of the ball, however, Carolina has showed that their defense has really improved, only allowing 9 points against the Bills and 3 points against the 49ers, so only 12 points through 2 weeks. Now, not to play devil's advocate, though, they've only played the 49ers and Bills. This will be their real test as a defense against an elite quarterback in Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Adrian Peterson, the running back by committee. So I do, even though New Orleans is 0-2 and Carolina is 2-0, I do think this will be a close game. However, Carolina is at home, and I feel like Cam Newton is due for a big game. Jonathan Stewart and Christian McCaffrey in the run game as well. So I am going to go for the Carolina Panthers to start out at 3-0. But I do think it'll be a very close game. I'm going to go final score, Carolina 31, New Orleans 28. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears looked terrible against the Bucs last week, which is kind of sad to see because they actually looked pretty good against the Falcons, but now they're starting to look like the Chicago Bears again. And Pittsburgh, I mean, Pittsburgh's off to a nice start, starting out 2-0, destroying the Vikings last week. Their offense looks good, their defense looks good, so I'm sorry, Chicago. I know it's in Soldier Field, but I just don't think you're going to be able to pull this one out. I'm going to go final score, Pittsburgh 35, Chicago 24. Next game, the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Detroit Lions, a battle of two undefeated teams as both teams have started out 2-0. I think this will be a good matchup at Ford Field. Matthew Stafford has looked absolutely fantastic so far, showing why he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. 6 touchdown passes through 2 games, and their defense looked really good last week against the Giants. Although maybe with that offensive line of the Giants, that's not saying much. But they're going to have their work cut out against them against the Atlanta Falcons. I honestly, this is going to be an absolute shootout, I believe. 2 red-hot offenses and 2 defenses who have really started to improve and show that they're pretty underrated units. But, I mean, you could call me biased, but I just think the Falcons' offense is better than the Lions' defense, and they played pretty well against the Packers last week, except for the 4th quarter when they started playing prevent defense. So I'm going to go the Atlanta Falcons to win a very close game. I'm going to go Atlanta Falcons 34, Detroit Lions 31. Next game, the Seattle Seahawks visiting the Tennessee Titans. The game playing on the screen right here. This will be an interesting game because We all know Seattle's a good team, but their offensive line has been just really struggling the past few weeks. Russell Wilson has just had a really difficult time behind that offensive line. They have not helped to protect them, and Tennessee, on the other hand, this is a weird game to predict because Tennessee's looked pretty good so far. They destroyed the Jaguars last week, and the week before that, they lost to the Raiders. This is going to be a close game. I think it is the best game of the week, which is why I have it playing in the background. But with how much Seattle is struggling on offense with their offensive line, I do think their defense can keep them in the game. But the Titans have no joke of a defense either, and so I trust the Titans offense a lot more than the Seattle one right now. And so I'm going to go Tennessee to actually win this game at home, beat the Seahawks, and I'm going to go final score Tennessee 27, Seattle 20. Yeah. 27-20 Titans. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at the Green Bay Packers. I mean, Andy Dalton, I'm sorry, you just started out so bad. You guys got no offense. I don't even think you guys have scored a touchdown. In fact, I saw a stat that the Cincinnati Bengals have not scored a touchdown since Barack Obama was in office. So that shows you how bad their offense is struggling. And Green Bay, I mean, yeah, they lost to the Atlanta Falcons last week, but they got a great offense, and their defense showed they got some decent talent off the edge, I guess. Clay Matthews, Kenny Clark, stuff in the run up the middle. Kevin King, the rookie out of Washington, looked pretty good last week against Atlanta, one of their bright spots on defense. And just on the road in Lambeau Field, one of the toughest atmospheres to play at, and Cincinnati's got no offense to speak of. I think Green Bay is going to absolutely destroy Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to start at 0-3. I'm going to go final score Green Bay 35, Cincinnati 20. And you'll have to excuse me because I'm still kind of sick, but I'm getting over it. Anyway, moving on to the next game. Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. I do think this will be a close game. Los Angeles has been kind of unlucky the past few weeks because I think both of the games they lost were due to their kicker missing field goals. But Kansas City's looked absolutely amazing to start off the year. Kareem Hunt leading the NFL in rushing as a rookie. He's just looked absolutely dominant. I mean, Alex Smith is having a career resurgence year, and Tyreek Hill is a great speedy option receiver. And on the other side of the ball, Marcus Peters is a top 2 cornerback in the NFL, I'd say. Justin Houston, dominant linebacker. They got a nice defensive line, and I like Phillip Rivers, but I don't think he's going to pull out this game. I look for the Chargers to start at 0-3 and the Kansas City Chiefs to continue on to 3-0. I'm going to go final score, Kansas City 31, San Diego 27. Next game, Oakland Raiders at the Washington Redskins. Another good matchup at FedEx Field, Sunday Night Football. This will be a really close game. Kirk Cousins looked really good last week. He started to show why he could be a long-term answer in Washington, leading the last-second touchdown drive to Ryan Grant to win the game against the Rams. On the other side, the Raiders, I mean, there's a reason people are picking them to win the AFC. Their offense is absolutely dominant, and their defense is very good as well. And I think that Derek Carr will have a nice game this game. Marshawn Lynch is going to be dancing all over that Redskins secondary and have a nice game, maybe over 100 yards. And so I'm going to go Oakland to win a close game. I mean, I do think Washington's defense is good, but I do think Oakland will win this game. Final score, Oakland 28, Washington 24. Next game, as Cam Chancellor picks off a pass and is gone, Dallas Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football. Arizona has really struggled to start the year. They beat the Colts last week in overtime, but with how bad the Colts have been playing, it's kind of shocking that it even had to go to overtime. And on the other side, Dallas absolutely got smacked by the Broncos last week. So both teams are kind of struggling. But, I mean, the Cardinals don't have David Johnson, which I think will hurt them in this game. And Carson Palmer has kind of been iffy to start the year, whereas I think Dak will have a bounce-back game from his struggles against Denver last week. Look for Zeke to get it going as well, and Des Bryant to have a nice game. I do think this will be close, but I think that after their shellacking last week, the Dallas Cowboys will rebound in this game. I think they'll win this game. Final score, Dallas 27, Arizona 17. So anyway, guys, that's all my picks for this week. Let me know what you think. I went 11-5 last week, so we'll see how it goes this week. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know what your picks are. And yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this gameplay and prediction video, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.